leadership that guarantees our livelihoods. It doesn't matter if you sleep hungry, you are hungry. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you are naked, you are naked. It doesn't matter where you are coming from.
Where you're coming from.
So we want we want a president who is able to give us a leadership that guarantees the livelihoods of each and every Kenyan. Now, secondly, we want a leadership that is able to guarantee us comfort living in Kenya. Today, whenever I wake up, I have a lot of things to think about. There are indisciplined drivers on the road who will bribe the police, and then they hate you, and then you are in the court for.
They talk to you the way they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, you can get yourself injured and you go to hospital.
Yeah.
Unless you go to private hospital, you are not going to get services. You have police that when you go there, the first thing people tell you is,
what do you have?
Give us something small so that we can address you. Address your issues. We have schools where we know the students are barely learning, actually not learning in a lot of situations. We have a healthcare system
which is not working.
So it is not comfortable to live in Kenya. Now, the young people are driving on the road or walking on the road, looking over their shoulders to see whether there is a Subaru behind them.
A very good evening and welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Awino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, it is another beautiful evening that I've been visited here in studio by a very good friend of mine. It's been long, by the way, but I just want to give him time to once again reintroduce himself, because we had been with him here out the State of the Nation, and I know one or two things maybe made him, he was committed somewhere. That is why he had not yet come back, but today he's back, and I would like to give him time to introduce himself, and then we jump back to our discussion. Mr. Joe.
Thank you very much.
Long time.
Thank you very much. Long time.
A long time.
But I'm back here. We are back together.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Where have you been? Where have you been?
I've been out there talking to citizens. As you know, I'm a co-convener of the Concerned Citizens Movement.
Yeah.
And we have been talking to citizens regarding this project that we have to amend the Constitution. And we have been talking with we have been talking with the citizens. And then, of course, we have been looking at what is happening in the field. What are people thinking about our leadership and governance? So we have been quite busy.
And you know, good timing. You've come back at a very good moment, in a very good moment where a lot of things needs to be discussed and people need to know exactly what is happening in the country.
Thank you very much.
And okay, I just want us to talk about this issue of the impeachment of Gachagua, because that is one of the major things that people need to understand. That why is it that a lot of people are focusing, why is it that the parliament is focusing on the impeachment of Gachagua, yet the person that needs to be impeached is William Ruto? Another thing, during the time of the CS of agriculture, that is Linturi, the same members of parliament defended Linturi and they did not impeach him. But right now, over 291 members of parliament have signed that they want to impeach Gachagua. What is the game?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bonnie. It's quite interesting. First of all, you say that he's a president who is supposed to be impeached.
Yeah.
I know
that is according to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I'm not supposed to be asking questions. You're asking questions.
Okay,
but I would like to ask you one question.
Okay.
Why do you think the president should be impeached?
Okay, the reasons why I think the president needs to be impeached is because all these problems that we are seeing happening in the country is the root cause. Like, okay, let's say for instance, why would you want to cut the tree from, the tree has a problem? And if the tree has a problem, cutting the branch of a tree will not solve the solution of the tree. So the only thing that you need to do, you need to uproot the tree so that if at all it wants to sprout, it will sprout again. That is it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, we have the impeachment of the deputy president.
Yes.
That is something that is going on. It's already tabled in Parliament.
Yes.
And we have Kenyans who have also been talking about our leadership and governance is not going according to what they expect.
Yeah.
And we know that the person who is in charge of leadership and governance in this country is the president.
Yeah.
I ask myself the same question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that the parliamentarians want to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, who is the deputy president? And yet all the things that we have seen which are wrong with the presidency, with the president's office and the president as a person are not being addressed. We have the issue of the Gen Z's uprising, protests.
Protests.
We have a lot of people who are missing. We have a lot of people who are killed. We have a lot of people who are injured. The president says nothing about it. In fact, what he said is that he's not aware that anybody went missing.
Yeah.
He's not aware people.
He has not
killed.
been contacted by the families.
He has not been contacted by the families. Yet we know very well that the Kenya National Human Rights Commission is the one responsible for giving him information of that nature. We know for sure that the president was provided with the information by the Kenya National Human Rights Commission because this is a public body and the public body gives public information. So with the president telling us that he doesn't know, that is a lie. And we look at our institution of parliament and we are left with no other conclusion but that our parliament is captured by the executive.
And talking about parliament, before you go on, can we say that this is the worst parliament that we've ever had since independence?
Now, I don't want to say that because I would rather talk with facts. Having sat down and done and checked the performance of the different parliaments, coming from a scientific background and also from a leadership background, I would like to talk with figures. However, I would want to look at this parliament, the way it is acting and the way it is supposed to act. It is very simple. And Kenyans must not even go looking for big things to talk about parliament. The parliamentarians are employees of the people of the Republic of Kenya.
They are servants.
They are servants. We gave them the votes. We gave them the responsibility. We give them the resources. And their main business, one of their core businesses, is to oversight the executive. Now, we have seen the executive mess the economy, the executive mess citizens, including killing of citizens. We have seen the executive, the leader of the executive, who is the president, lie to us in public. And we have seen so many things. Parliament should have stepped in and oversighted the executive and said, people need to know the truth. People need to be led according to the Constitution. You will recall we were here some time back and we said very simple. If the president wants people to listen to him and he wants people to give him respect and he gains legitimacy of the people, let him use the leadership and governance manual that he has been given by the people of Kenya. This is the Constitution. It is the primary one. Then you have the laws of Kenya. And then you have government policy. He has violated all of those.
So we have got different bodies.
Now, we have the president, for instance, come and tell us that he does not have any power over the police. When we talk about the police arresting people, brutalizing people, unconstitutional detention, like you have people being detained for more than 24 hours.
Shooting
of people. police working with covered faces, like though they are dealing with terrorists, they are dealing with Kenyans, not terrorists.
Without uniform.
Without uniform.
In Subaru.
Yes. So when that happens, it is the work of Parliament to come in and check the executive. So it is really surprising that you will have Parliament working very hard to impeach the deputy president while the president is violating every rule of governance, is violating the constitution, is violating the laws of Kenya. And then he's lying to us that he does not have any power over the police.
So Mr. Gumugasha, in short, you're trying to say that the offense that the president has committed, in as much as we are blaming the deputy president, but the offenses that the president has committed are much more than what the deputy president has committed.
That is our assessment. That is my personal assessment as well. And when I look at this, it is very sad that the Parliament wants to make us believe that our biggest problem in this country is the deputy president. Kenyans, our biggest problem in this country is not the deputy president. It is the president. Because he's the one who swore to protect the constitution while all of us and the world was watching at Kasarani. And now it is the same constitution that he is not respecting. And he is not protecting Kenyans. We saw the other day, Morara asking questions, asking about, making a statement on what happened in Mombasa, that a citizen was abducted by other citizens.
And sodomized.
And left for dead. And the moment he did that, then he was arrested. He was arrested and taken to the regional Nairobi office. And he was arrested in Ruto. So why was he not taken to Ruto police station?
He was brought to Nairobi.
He was brought to Nairobi. So we are looking at this and saying the country has become a police state. And the president comes back and tells us he has no power over the police. We are asking ourselves one big question. And we would want the president to answer this question. Is the president telling us that we, the citizens, should take over our own protection against the police, that it is we, the citizens, who have given him the mandate to run the country and all institutions of the country? It is not acceptable. And the president must take responsibility and carry out administrative duties as required by the constitution. One of the primary ones is to protect citizens. That is something that he has to do, and he can't run away from it.
Which he can't do.
He needs to do. And below him, he has a CS for interior.
Kindiki.
This is Kindiki. And he's a man who is very quiet. We don't even know whether he runs that particular office. And then the next thing we see is supposed to be the spokesperson for Mount Kenya. And we ask ourselves the question: if you cannot be a spokesperson for the docket that you have been given, how do you become a spokesperson for a region? And
thank God, Mr. Joe, you come from Mount Kenya region, and you were here. Gachagua is like a brother to you. Kindiki is like a brother to you, coming from the same region. Now, I want us to assume, that right now Gachagua is impeached. We have got different options here. Like William Ruto has got different options. That someone who can replace Rigathi Gachagua. We have got somebody like let's exclude Ndindi Nyoro, and I think we'll explain why we are excluding Ndindi Nyoro, because the side right now Ndindi Nyoro is like supporting Rigathi Gachagua. So Ndindi Nyoro is not with the people like Ichungwa. So here we have got somebody like Kithure Kindiki, in which the people of the mountain, not all of them, but some of them are saying that he is going to be the spokesperson, is going to be an intermediary between them and the government. So automatically, they have endorsed him to replace Rigathi Gachagua. We also have Anne Waiguru. Remember, there's a time that the president said that during the G7, he said that he's going to talk to the deputy president so that in the near future, we'll have a woman to represent women in the higher office. So in Ruto's mind, maybe he can pick up Anne Waiguru or Kithure Kindiki, or surprisingly enough, he can even pick Kimani Ichung'wah. Now, you as the brother of these people, what is your take on this?
Bori, you are taking me to a discussion that is not in line with the concerned citizens movement.
Okay. No, okay.
I get you.
That is why I've just said that let's just assume. I know it's out of the concern, but let us just assume.
That's fine. That's fine. I get it. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying the discussion that you are taking me to is not in line with the ideology of the concerned citizens movement. And it is also not in line with the party I belong, political party I belong to.
Okay, let me now bring you.
Let me explain. Let me explain. Concerned citizens movement is about concerns on the issues that affect this country, our country. And it is about we need a leadership that guarantees the livelihood of each and every Kenyan citizen, regardless of where they come from. Doesn't matter where you come from, the mountain, or you come from the lake region, or you come from the coast region, it doesn't matter. We are all within the same boundaries of the Republic of Kenya. And all of us are brothers and sisters. Or so we should be. And we must strive to be brothers and sisters. Therefore, when it comes to discussing the individuals and what they should do and which kingpin should be, we do not want to go there.
Okay.
We say the first one is as leadership that guarantees our livelihoods. It doesn't matter if you sleep hungry, you are hungry. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you are naked, you are naked. It doesn't matter where you are coming from.
Where you're coming from.
So we want somebody we want a president who is able to give us a leadership that guarantees the livelihoods of each and every Kenyan. Now, secondly, we want a leadership that is able to guarantee us comfort living in Kenya. Today, whenever I wake up, I have a lot of things to think about. There are indisciplined drivers on the road who will bribe the police, and then they hit you, and then you are in the court for
They
them.
talk to you the way they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, you can get yourself injured and you go to hospital.
Yeah.
Unless you go to private hospital, you are not going to get services. You have police that when you go there, the first thing people tell you is,
what do you have?
give us something small so that we can address you. Address your issues. We have schools where we know the students are barely learning, actually not learning in a lot of situations. We have a healthcare system
which is not working.
So it is not comfortable to live in Kenya. Now, the young people are driving on the road or walking on the road, looking over their shoulders to see whether there is a Subaru behind them, or whether there is a Subaru that is that is trailing them.
Yeah, so it's like we are just living like you don't know what is going to happen next.
Correct.
Yeah.
In fact, in my view, the Subaru Kenya should question the trading with the government, because the Subaru is getting a very bad name. They should actually take the government to task.
Because any moment you see a Subaru somewhere.
Yes, people run away. Now, the other thing, so we don't have comfort living in Kenya.
Yeah.
We need a leadership that guarantees us our comfort living in Kenya. Yani starehe kukaa kwa nchi, kuishi kwa nchi yetu. Now, the other thing, at Concerned Citizens Movement, we also want a leadership that can guarantee us our future. And what constitutes our future? Our future is our children. Second is our grandchildren. Third is our old age. And fourth is our development. Now, we are living in a country where you do all the best you can for your children, but you cannot guarantee that they are going to live a comfortable life. You finish as the parents, a lot of parents are bankrolling. They are struggling to bankroll their children to run their homes. We can't live like that. Others are bankrolling them even to take their children to school. So we have grandparents who are taking care of children, adult children, and their children. That's the grandchildren. And finally, the grandparents are going to sap out of energy. And then they are going to be beggars. You are going to look and you wonder, this person used to be an MD of a company, but he can't take care of himself. He can't take care of his wife.
Where are the life savings? What do they do?
Exactly. When you look at the pensions, they can't help you. So we don't have any guarantee on that. So we have our children, we have our grandchildren, then our future, that is our old age. And then finally, we have development. You are living in an area today and you are using a road. 1,000 of you are using a road. Then you come 20 years down the line, you have 100,000 people using the same road. And therefore you can't move. It's also full of potholes. So your development, your future in development is not guaranteed. Yet, when you are strong, you worked very hard for this nation.
So Mr. Joe.
So let's come now. You'll see where we are coming from. What we are saying is this. Regions in Kenya do not need kingpins. They need leaders. They need leaders who can sit with the other leaders and negotiate and tell them that this region is producing so much for the nation. So we need to invest more so that we can get more to distribute to the other areas. And the others say this area is so far behind, it is not contributing to the nation. So we need to bring it up. We need to invest in this community, in this region, so that they can also join the tax-paying people. And that way, we expand the tax base, we have more resources, we are able to take care of our people. Because we have been outside this country. And you ask yourself, how do countries like Switzerland, how do they afford to take care of their people? The point is, in these countries, you will not find anybody driving 10 Mercedes. In fact, you rarely find somebody driving those high-range vehicles because people live within their means. But in this country, we have got this situation where the biggest business is stealing from the public. That, Kenyans, we must stop it. It must stop. And the way it stops is first by telling Parliament, you are not working for us. You are working for the executive, and you must stop working for executive or we remove you. Because the executive is supposed to work for the people. Parliament is supposed to work for the people, but not institutions to work for each other. No. So, in terms of who will be appointed to replace
Gachagua,
if he's impeached, it is immaterial. You will get the same treatment, whether you get a person from your place or not, because that person will be dancing the tune of the president.
That's true.
It is not the tune of the people. So we must stop this lie that when a person from your area is appointed to a position, a national position,
you'll feel better.
He's coming there to serve you. He doesn't serve you. He is supposed to serve the nation. But unfortunately, he serves the appointing authority, who is the president.
The master.
And that brings us to the issue we have come up with, that we need to amend the Constitution, Article 145, so that citizens can be able to recall the president when the president does not serve them properly. That means the president will never go bribing Parliament again. The president will be serving the people. There is no president, Kenyans, who can bribe the people he serves. He can only serve the people, and the people respect him for the service he has given them. So when we come asking for signatures, please give us the signatures. We need 1 million signatures, and we are coming for those signatures very soon.
So Mr. Joe, as we wind up, you as concerned citizen,
yes,
what is your plan with the Gen Zs? Like, do you think, if at all you want people that you can join forces with to bring this government into its better place, you can work with the Gen Zs? Like, do you have room for them? Because the only advice, like one of the main forces that is really challenging the government is the Gen Zs. they're trying so hard how they can capture the attention of the Gen Zs, but they're defeated. So do you have room, like let's say now the Gen Zs are looking for a party that they can use? They are partyless. The only person that is coming out now to support them, or maybe to make them follow, is Morara. Simply, and they're not even following, simply because of what Morara is doing. So suppose they're looking for a party. Do you think you as concerned citizen are ready to work with the Gen Zs and support them, and they also support you, so that we can change the state of the nation?
Yes. Concerned citizens is about everybody in this country, in our country. Even those who are in the diaspora, those who are here, and all ages of Kenyans, as long as you are above the age of 18.
Yeah.
Because the law requires that for you to participate in matters of leadership and governance, you have to be over 18. Now, we are not divided according to generations. We have young people of the Gen Z age in our concerned citizens movement.
Yeah.
We know these issues affect all Kenyans, including the Gen Zs. So my response to that directly is that everybody, including the Gen Zs, are welcome to concerned citizens movement. And we work with all of us to make our country better. So they are welcome, and we will work together. Now, concerned citizen movement is not a political party.
Yeah.
But members of concerned citizens movement also belong to political parties. And for that reason, for instance, for me, I'm a member of Fordasili. And we invite citizens, including the Gen Zs. We know many of them are not in parties. That is why they are partyless. But we would like to tell them that what they are seeking to do is political. And for that reason, they must be in a political party. Now, political parties in this country, majority of them are individuals' outfits. And once you get there, you have to do what the individual, the one who is bankrolling the party, wants you to do. Or you'll be shoved out. So it is very important to look at which party you are getting into. For me, as a member of a political party, I invite everybody to join for Dasili. You come, we work together, and we make our nation better. But one has to always be very careful which political party you are joining.
Because it can either bring you the government or take you away.
Yes. Finally, on political parties, Kenyans tend to believe that a political party must be new in order for it to be able to function.
Yeah, to function well.
That is wrong. Institutions work better when they have been in operation for a long time. If you look at the US, they only have two major political parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. And these parties are over 200 years old. So they have been operating. Second, we have a country called Kenya. We are over 60 years old now. Why have we never thought of changing the name of Kenya to something else so that it can be attractive? So we must learn to build institutions rather than trying to get institutions to build us. It is supposed to be the other way around.
So we are forming many institutions instead of focusing on the ones that we have to build us.
Yes, Bonnie. That is what we are doing. Look at even public institutions. Why did we change the name of the Kenya Police Force from Kenya Police Force to Kenya Police Service? Were we supposed to change the institution or the attitude of the people?
The attitude.
It is the people.
Yeah.
An institution is as good as the people who run it and the people who work in it. So for me, I don't care if it's a Kenya Police Service or if it's a Kenya Police Force. That is a name. What I want is the attitude, aptitude, and the legality of the actions that the people we have employed there are doing. They must follow the constitution, they must follow the laws of Kenya, and they must follow government policy. And most of all, everybody must remember that they are citizens of the Republic of Kenya. When we meet with you as a policeman, and you clobber my head, remember tomorrow we'll meet in a wedding. and you expect me to respect you, I will, of course, not respect you.
Yeah.
So we have to change the mindset of Kenyans, and particularly the Kenyans we have employed in the civil service, in the public service. We have to change that. We must also change our thinking as Kenyans, that we know and we understand that we are the ones who employ. These people are not our masters.
They are masters.
They are our employees.
We are their masters.
We are their masters.
Yeah.
We must put that out very, very strongly and exercise it.
So, Mr. Joe, as we wind up, your last words.
Thank you very much. Kenyans, we are going through this impeachment of the deputy president. And as you have heard me say, we are questioning the validity of that impeachment, because the driver of the impeachment is the president himself. And Parliament, we saw from the finance bill, is responding to what is being told by the executive. Our thinking is this: when we go for public participation, let us all demand that we impeach the president and the deputy president together. We are not going to impeach the deputy president. That is the only time we are going to know that Parliament is working for us and not working for the executive. Thank you very much.
A friend of mine yesterday said that the writing is on the wall, and the writing is saying, mele mele tekele. After all, guys, that is all we have today. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye-bye.